We are back. And exactly as expected, the last one got taken down by YouTube. That's what they do when they want to suppress you or they don't want people to know what you're saying. They porn bomb you and then report it. That's standard practice. We might go for a walk in the winter wonderland. I'll tell you all what I was just told here in a minute. I'm gonna have to wind up repeating it anyway, but maybe I won't have to repeat it as many times if I wait a few minutes. Yeah, it was important actually. I just can't. I can't. I can't open stuff while I'm live. I mean, it explains things, and like everybody and their brother was all telling me the same thing. It's funny, people in the chat had to have known the same thing, but they didn't. They didn't seem to remember that part. But we'll get to it in a minute. Oh, 1 second. Something else that strikes me funny is that the same people that are totally cool with Tommy or whoever calling FCC a pred when they don't even know who the fuck he is. It just your arguments don't hold any water. So we're supposed to be looking out for kids, but when we do sound an alarm, then even though it's not really a lie, then yeah, we're lying about child abuse. Okay, I see where your real priorities are, and that's part of the problem. I tell you what, if I could sniff the snow, I sure would. I mean, I could, but it's not going to be a fun effect. I don't imagine. Like that movie, what was it called? Better Off Dead or something. The kid was snorting Jello, and where the hell did the light go? I think I just went blind. Man, what do you got here? It's a lot prettier in person. Yeah, that's the one. The new stuff. Paperboy. Oh shit, there's a little tard. I knew you'd find me. All right, say hi, little tard. Now go inside. You're gonna turn into a kitty sickle out here. I think they got enough fucking cats out here. I should be able to tie him to a dog sled and have him mush me around. All right, little tard, go into your little luxury kitty condo. All right, enough of that shit. Did I remember to post a link? See, that's how it is. They won't ever actually come up and confront me. And I don't watch their channels. I don't even go on the channels of people I like. So never more. I haven't seen you around in a long time. Cat's not bad. It's the other white meat. People just need to accept it. What's going on, Todd? I haven't seen you around in a long time either. Yeah, Rip Kurt. Now where in the fuck did my lighter go? All right, I'm gonna tell you what I was just told. Maybe. Hold on. Now I'm getting more. Oh yeah. the sweetheart that just texted me. It got taken down from porn because I got porn bombed, and I didn't bother to delete it, so YouTube took it down. It's not. I can't send you the link because it ain't coming back. Oh yeah, that reminds me. What was it? 2 days ago? Three maybe? I don't remember. It's been within the last week. I don't know for how long my channel was down. It couldn't have been very long, but I got a notice that I apparently gotten a bunch of uh, people reported on me like a bunch all at once. So my channel was down for a little while, but I appealed them and it was back up like within minutes, like before I even got them all responded to. They put my channel back up. So I guess what I'm being told now is uh, Jesse Davis changed his story last night, and these fuckers know this. That's why I was asking Mitch to put that one panel back up, but of course he's not going to do it. I guess. Well, I shouldn't say I guess. I mean, originally he was saying that they were naked pictures, but last night I guess he said they are not naked pictures. But uh, Mitch has been obsessing over a picture or pictures of his daughter's tits from when she was a teenager. Now, if that's acceptable to you, then you go right ahead. But you don't have a place here. If it's acceptable to you that Mitch has got 14-year-old boys following him around the internet, then you go right ahead. But you're not welcome here. What's up, JT? Your big fat finger swiped across. All right, yeah, accidents happen. That's cool. TBS male lover. I don't have a male lover. And I don't particularly need one. And here's something for you. I know, Jeffrey, I know you're mad at me because I've been talking to your girlfriend. I get it. But, I mean, these fuckers are so out of options. They had to go to Jeff, of all people. I mean, if that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know. I guess there's no hope for you. Well, we do allow gay sea monkey. It's acceptable to be a gay sea monkey. We just want the same rights as everybody else. Yeah, we all need a large body to cozy up to. I might have one in my trunk. I wouldn't say I ran with it. Like, I would consider a father and his daughter a credible source. What am I supposed to do? Ask to see the proof? I'm not asking for fucking pictures of a teen girl. And the problem is that, like, it's not, this is the only thing. There's been red flags all along. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm not his friend. I'm just telling you what happened. Meow had the best porn bombs. Johnny's List. I don't know who that is. What's up, White Claw? MS-13. They would probably literally eat him for lunch. I wouldn't want to fuck with those guys. Funny how none of them had the balls to come up here. Something else that's been kind of not really bothering me, something I've thought about is, yeah, I wish that the panel channel was a guy, because then I could be more aggressive, but um, I have a hard time. I mean, unless they're asking me to be aggressive, that's different, but, I have a hard time being aggressive towards females. But I'm going to pick on her since she said that I was laying low because I'm afraid. I don't know when I was laying low or what I was supposed to be afraid of. But she's the one that found that information on Ed, and I am glad she did. I'm glad it is. I would have put it out there myself, but why didn't she just put it out there? Oh, wrong Miller Bride. I'm a Dom. Sorry. Speaking of Doms, hello Dominique. I lost my squirrel. Lost my train of thought. Like, why did she have Mitch put it out there? Was it like, was she afraid that there was going to be a lot of blowback that never really happened? I mean, she needed a dummy, and she found just the perfect one. That's exactly what they're doing with Jeff right now. They're so out of options, they had to go to Jeff, of all people. Yeah, when I was playing around with the idea of going live earlier, I thought about talking about the recent bombings, but I think we'll save that for another time. People think it's so weird because one of the weapons that they showed was an AR-15 that had been burned. It had no sights on it. Well, the sights were probably plastic, so that explains that. And then the same guy blew his brains out with the 50 caliber Desert Eagle. And their argument is that there are much better weapons that you could use, and that is true. But he never challenged anybody with guns. All he did was blow his Tesla up. Now, if you're planning on ending yourself, I've had Desert Eagles, I've had the 50 AE, and they're more of a gimmick, really, but they're potent. So if you're gonna end yourself, a 50 AE wouldn't really be a bad way to go. And then they're saying, well, he was a Green Beret or whatever he was, Green Beret or Ranger, I don't, something like that, some specs, you know, high speed dude. And they're like, well, he used fireworks and camping fuel. Well, he probably didn't have access to C4, and you can make some pretty potent IEDs out of fireworks and camping fuel. Now, I don't believe most of what the government tells us, but I think people are reading too much conspiracy theory into some of it. A 22 long rifle has too much recoil for Tommy. Well, you might be right about that. Oh, hey, thank you for the cash app, but I'm cool. It's really not necessary for that reason, but I do appreciate it. Are Laura and Clown still a thing, or have they had enough of each other yet? Well, are you embarrassed that you let a guy? Oh, damn it, it moved. That you let a guy like Mitch get to you so bad that you lied about child. Were you not listening earlier, Langley? Do you not know about all the other sus shit? And obsessing and passing around pictures of a minor and sexualizing those pictures is still pretty fucking sick. And if that's acceptable to you, fine, but you've got no place here. That's the problem. That's why this so-called community has been on the downcline for a while. We've got way less people here now because of shit like this. And we weren't exactly left with the good ones. Is it Laura? I don't know. Oh no, yeah, she's been with a couple of dudes in the community. I guess you could say she's a community hoe, but I don't know. I don't know what she's like in real life. Christy is always giving people dirty thoughts. It's kind of like her job. How many community downturns has Bill managed? What are you talking about exactly? I've watched it crash and burn a few times. And every time I tried to warn y'all, nobody wants to fucking listen. Ask Chat GBT why Colorado Pet Patrol. I've never actually used Chat GBT. Like, I know what it is, but I've never actually. Like, do you have to download an app for it, or can you just, like, Google it? That's something else that's irritating about YouTube is it used to be all about people's creativity, but now, like, all the artwork is AI, and they just go and pull something off of Chat GBT, which is obviously AI, and AI voiceovers, which are for now obviously AI. Like, it's just you don't have to have any creativity or research skills to actually do anything. Now, my channel is shit. I've never said otherwise. I maintained all along that I put very little effort into it. I feel kind of bad because I know people that put a lot of effort into their stuff for years, and they still only have. And like, I don't look down on anybody. I'm not like, oh, I'm better than or whatever. Not like that at all. But like, I know dudes that I've been watching for years, and they put a lot of effort into it, and I feel bad sometimes because they still only have like 500 subs. And I never tell them that, but I don't know. It's all this AI shit is pushing out people that are creative and actually want to put work into it. And I think that's bullshit. You told a community of survivors that you were 100% sure Mitch had CP on his devices. Well, when you hear the alleged victims talk about it, what are you supposed to think? And then if something happened and something happens further down the line, then you would say, oh, well, you knew about it. You didn't say anything. So it doesn't matter. You're going to say it's wrong no matter what. And then you want to claim to be about the kids that err on the side of caution. You just showed yourself full of shit too. Yeah, Christy can talk dirty to me anytime. Christy, you're gonna ruin your reputation. Don't be telling people that. Yeah. Oh no, no, Tiny Tim. I'm not saying I'm a good person. Don't go that far. Yeah, I shaved my toes for Christy. Even used one of them. What do you call them? Puma stones. Is that what they're called? Smoothed out my feet a little bit. Known me for a very long time. Right on, Tiny Tim. Apparently, you don't know me very well, though. Holy shit, mail order bread! You have a very vivid imagination. Now I'm gonna be thinking about that when I'm trying to sleep. Oh, by the way, I got maybe I said this already. I got community come over unbanned. Read kids first nows. I did. I just read her comment. Here, I'll find it and highlight it for you. Oh God, close your eyes, everybody. I don't know if this is the real guy or not.
You've never been porn bombed when it's me, Bill. Don't worry.
I could only be so lucky.
Well, hey, you said $20 is $20, so if I flashed you and sent you $20,
Well,
you
20
could
bucks
convince
is 20
yourself to
bucks.
enjoy it. Happy New Year
Convince myself.
to you and your.
Yep. Happy fucking New
Uh,
Year. Did we lose you?
I'm here. Can you hear me,
Yeah, you're just kind
Bill?
of robot-y is all. I hear you now. You're just kind of
Any
robot-y.
better now?
Yeah.
All right. Is any better now?
Yes.
Well, these cretins think that people should condemn you, your friends, supporters, subscribers, viewers. It's like FCC wants me to condemn Tommy for what he said, calling him a predator. And I don't agree with calling people predators when they're not predators at all. And, I don't think that these people that want to come around here and sort of hold the moral high ground when they are part of this cabal of trying to drag everyone into scenarios which we aren't involved in or have anything to do with. For a year now or more, people want to associate those of us that were in Ed's chat or, uh, you know, defending. None of us knew at the time that there was this finalized court case that said that CSAM was found on Edward's device. Once that came out, you didn't see any of that, of the defending or the questioning. And these same people, Mitch, the panel channel, Ryan, are pathetic fools and losers for trying to smear all of us into and box us in as if we were out supporting Edward, his brother, in the knowledge that we knew that this was definitively found on a device or devices in their home. None of us did that. None of us did. And it's just this whole
Right.
group of dishonest losers. The people that want to try to hurt. We don't see eye to eye, me and Angela G, all the time. And we've had our back and forth. And, I don't think we consider each other friends. But they have dragged that woman for months and months trying to hurt her. Fuck them. And now they want you to be, for people to condemn you because, there's these rumors or speculation going around. I don't know what it was supposed to be the other night with Sewertown and Jesse Davis, but, I like Jesse. I've waded into the hoax drama for a while now. Really, I'm interested in the, there's this Owen Benjamin character, and he's kind of a grifter that I think is funny to follow.
I know who that is. I know who that
Yeah,
is.
he's got this whole encampment that he raises and fleeces people and grifts off of them. Really just the penultimate follow the leader and give your money up to people online that you don't know, they don't give a shit. That's Owen Benjamin. And then because he agrees with you on the politics, he's allowed to fleece you of all your money. But anyway, these very people that want to drag all of us down because we defended someone or something at the time we didn't have all of the facts, and they want to sort of characterize it like we were doing, like Tommy Boy did to me. As soon as, the documents officially came out that stated what they stated, Tommy Boy puts a video out saying, with my words, made a year prior, I'm 100% certain that Ed's innocent. It was a dumb statement. I shouldn't have made it. But for him to push that video out around the time that these documents had come out to sort of snipe me to a degree, hoping that some of the hate that flowed to Ed would come off on me, knowing full well that, I've been doxxed and harassed and et cetera, et cetera. I don't cry about it like he does every day. Don't need to. The more attention you give to bullshit, the more people think that they've got you. So, I don't really pay attention to it other than being doxxed is serious. It's can be dangerous. I've apologized to the one person that I accidentally doxed, and Aunt Karen TPC panel channel made it 50,000 times bigger than it would have been had she not said anything, but she had to get me, right? She had to let the people know that Sam, no context, who cares what the context was, just didn't ask me. She had to make it known to try to smear me and try to continue on with the narrative that she's been promoting. This person's a scumbag. This is et cetera, et cetera. I'm right. You're wrong. So no, I'm not going to condemn you. And I don't agree with, FCC being called a predator. FCC is not a predator. And I don't agree that people without evidence are claiming that Mitch is doing something, illegal. However, Mitch is someone that doesn't answer anyone's questions. He runs around asking all the questions, but he'll never really submit to any questions. He'll never come up here and answer any. You got the StreamYard link. Like, I don't understand. I go up on his channel, and it's like, I feel like he's Kamala Harris, and I'm Trump. He's Kamala Harris, not doing any interviews, not answering any questions. And I'm Trump asking him why Trump already caved on immigration to suit the H-1B visas for immigrant labor to come over and be abused and used and treated like slaves in place of American jobs so that billionaires can get richer. I'd like to know, Mitch, how that fits the Trump agenda. I'd like Mitch to answer some of these questions, thorny questions I have about the fakery sometimes that I hear. I know it's going to upset some people, but, like Alex, Alex didn't vote in this election. I did vote, but,
Alex didn't vote.
I don't think he did. I don't think he voted.
Hmm.
We know that Alex is very conservative, but Alex sees Trump and MAGA for what some of us see Trump and MAGA is that it was kind of, in the first term, we got abandoned. We, the people that wanted, not giveaways to elites or, a spending policy that blew the budget and is one of the reasons why we're struggling with massive inflation, which Democrats completely blew. The fact that trillions and trillions of dollars was spent in Trump admin number one, trillions of wasted spending. The PPP, Paychecks Protection Program, is one of the biggest government waste programs in history. So, Mitch, I got a lot of
don't know what that
questions
is.
for you. The PPP, it was the triple P program. It was supposed to be about 220 billion. It turned into 1.1 trillion of a slush fund for businesses to apply for government money to pay their payroll
Oh,
for 2 to
okay.
4
Yeah, yeah.
months.
Okay.
It's one of the biggest
Yeah.
historical cases of waste, fraud, and abuse in history,
Yeah,
in
there's
policy
been people
history.
going to prison over that now, right?
1 out of every about 200 people that committed fraud are actually going to prison, right? But you've heard occasionally the story about the business owner buying boats and yachts and cars and all that. That was a program put in place by Trump because he shut down our economy in his first administration and wanted the vaccine to be called the Trump vaccine. And people like Mitch, right, want us to conveniently forget about all of that, that now the anti-vaxxers that are supposedly part of MAGA conveniently forget that Trump is the one that was pushing the vaccine so hard, so fast, as well as wanting it to be named after him. He wanted it to be called the Trump vaccine. Then he spent a couple years trying to hide it, deflect. He was the first person to get the vaccine, et cetera, et cetera. Actually took that Regeneron treatment, again, unproven, that a lot of MAGA people think was terrible for their health. Trump was on the front lines to get Regeneron when he got COVID, and he was one of the first in line, probably pushed a lot of people out of the way to get one of the first vaccines, the Trump vaccine. So anyway, what is interesting for me about Mitch is that he runs around here like a freaking liberal. He's a liberal. He wants to act like he can ask all the questions about people's character, about people's personal life. He can smear people. He can accuse people. And then when it comes to him, it's no, don't go there. It's the limousine liberal. No, no, no. Do as I say, not as I do. The guy won't answer any questions at all. For a couple weeks, I was asking him repeatedly, hey, I'm not making a judgment on it one way or the other. There's an argument can be made if you're not inappropriate with kids online that, if you're not doing anything inappropriate or trying to do anything inappropriate, that, hey, if you have kids in your Discord It's a yes or no answer. I'm not saying that you're doing anything inappropriate with the kids, but do you have them or not? It was yes or no. Mitch didn't even answer that question for weeks. And it was a simple question. And so, yes, my interest in, hey, did I believe that Mitch has, I don't go Discord, I don't do that, but the point is he didn't answer a simple question. And he wants to come around and ask all these intricate, complicated, convoluted, what did you know? When did you know it? You're a huge friend of Edward. You're a huge friend of Dowd. I don't know the person, that Dowd person, but yet Mitch has effectively tried to associate. They've done it with you tonight. They were trying to say that you were in a Dowd chat.
I was, but I didn't know it was his channel because I never followed his channel. He changed the name of it and shared one of my posts, and I didn't know who the fuck it was. So the next time they went live, I went into their chat, and when he started talking, I knew who it was.
Right.
And then
right.
he just immediately wrenches. And Mitch only showed part of the messages.
Well, of course.
He didn't show the whole thing in its full context.
So none of these people are honest actors. None of them are. The panel channel has a bias against certain people. Tommy Boy has a bias against certain people. And that's okay. It's okay to target people. But you're not an honest actor. You're not an unbiased actor. And that means your credibility can be questioned. When you're not an objective, honest actor, your motives can be questioned. Your evidence can be questioned. And I think that that's what they have a problem with. The panel channel wants to run around this community acting like she's an honest actor. And I'm not saying that she made up any evidence. No, see, don't go there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she fabricated anything. No, that's not what, I don't have any proof of that. I'm saying that she has an agenda, a motive.
Oh, yeah,
And
definitely.
and for whatever that may be, she may just not like the sound of my voice. Well, guess what? She's that's Bill, I know sometimes you can't stand the sound of my voice, so I get it. And sometimes, you know what? I can't stand the sound of my own voice. Someone was playing a Tommy Boy when me and Tommy Boy did a little head-to-head. And I got to say, I sounded like a total prick. And I'm hoping that I've
Dude,
made some improvements.
I hate listening to my own voice. That's why I don't watch my own shit. And if somebody asks me where something's at, most of the time I don't fucking remember, but I'm not going back, and I'm just not listening to it.
Well, I mean, I know, but sometimes it's unavoidable when it's being played on panels. Things that you said 2 years ago is being played today as content of today. Like Nunya gets around doing so that she can up her watch hours from her ridiculously um, uh, ridiculously manipulated and insane viewers, the 4 people that still watch her. But what I'm saying is that no, I'm not going to condemn you for what you said about or didn't. I don't know what that you said that Mitch had porn on his phone or whatever. I think you've made clear what you believe that was in relation to. And this is another dishonest tax that they're trying to do. They all say that you accused Kevin of sexual assault, etc., and rape and all of that. No, you didn't accuse anyone of anything. You decided, like the panel channel decides, like Tommy Boy decides, right? like Predcatcher Drama decides, you decided to platform someone because she had a story to tell, right? You were not necessarily saying that you 100% supported or believed that. You were not making the assertions or the allegations. You gave a voice to someone. You gave a voice to someone who was claiming to be a victim of some type of sexual assault. Whether that was true or not is not what was under your purview. You decided to give somebody a voice, and they had a problem with it because Kevin was a catcher and he had a lot of goodwill. And you even gave him the microphone so that he came up and essentially destroyed that person's character. And I don't know where I wish her well. I don't know exactly, um, you know, what happened to her. I hope she's okay. But essentially, we had someone who was claiming to be, and I'm not saying that that means that we believe her story or not. I think everybody's story should be questioned by the appropriate authorities and under the appropriate circumstances. But they all want to go back to that. And again, I'm not even saying that I wish her well, like, oh, I'm happy if she falsely accused someone of something. No, I'm not saying anything about her credibility or her story. You simply gave her a platform to speak her mind.
Well,
Whether it
here's the
was,
deal. Sam's Clit is doing it right now. Nobody said that like he jumped out of the bushes and full on R-worded her. Nobody said that. But what I will tell you is sexual assault is if you're getting ready to do it and she went there to do it, she never said she didn't. If you ask somebody to put a condom on and they don't and they go for it anyway, that is sexual assault in most states.
well, and what happened to her, and I do think there's this other side of it too. Not to get back into the Sherry allegation, but long ago, I don't even remember how it was done or where it was done. I never actually heard someone say, and this person raped me, but it's always been stated that Sherry alleged that Tommy raped her. I've never seen a police report stating in a sworn statement that she said that. And in support of and in fairness and equality and justice for all, even those accused, if you have the ability to go on YouTube to claim that someone committed a sexual offense against you, and you have the ability to do that, then you have the ability to privately, with investigators, go in and disclose this abuse under sworn testimony that you could be prosecuted for if you lie under oath, like I did when I made my victim report. I didn't go to YouTube. I could say the name of my abusers right here and right now, give her address out, and fuck, I want to. But I don't think that the platform of YouTube is the appropriate place to make serious allegations of sexual assault. However, people shouldn't blame you if Sam wants to come up and talk about his sexual abuse and he's going to name names. I don't think people should blame you or say that you're the one that accused my abuser. So that's what they tried to do with you, and they've long tried to do it. They've attacked you after they disposed of that lady, and that's another false story and plot. And that's nothing to say about the actual evidence or the allegations or whether I like or don't like Kevin or I don't or like someone else. It's you're dishonest. You're dishonest actors. All of you, the lot of you, are dishonest. You run with the narrative. And I do think that a lot of us back in the day did get caught up in that. Um, I've not seen any evidence that Tommy raped anybody. I haven't seen any evidence. I was told a long time ago that people were going to file sworn police statements that Tommy raped someone. Never did. Never followed up on it. And then there's the fear that if you admit to lying, that you could be just like we see with the Duke Lacrosse. The Duke Lacrosse case, in which the lady escort completely fabricated a sexual assault and held that lie for 18 years. Not 18 hours, not 18 days, not 18 months. She held that lie for 18 years. She let people be smeared long after she was totally viewed as uncredible and a liar. It took her 18 years from a prison cell that she's now serving a sentence for murdering somebody to come out and apologize to the people that she lied about. And one thing that I've learned, Bill, is that as hard it is to get a predator to admit to their behavior, it's even harder to get people who lied about it to admit that they're liars. And so, and as a victim of abuse, it's the liars that make our case a lot harder in the system. It's the liars. And there are liars out there.
Definitely, it happens. It happens a lot, and it's bullshit. Especially when you damn it, what I just do.
Okay.
There we go.
Mitch is here to answer some questions. Great.
It says it's Mitch, but I don't know.
Yeah, I am here to ask some questions. You're right. So it turns out
you're here to answer some
were
questions.
wrong, right? So
you're here to answer some questions. No, you've had your fair
lied
share.
about child
Guys,
abuse.
one at a time, please.
Right?
Of
so you admit you were wrong.
I think it's time for you to answer some questions now.
You said that,
and it's great that you're here to answer our questions.
You two faggots said
one at a time, please.
Nobody said that.
Said I had
Show
CP,
where I
and
said
it turned out you were wrong. So now I'm ready for you to apologize. Go ahead.
Ready to answer our questions about this whole thing. Thank you, Mitch, for coming up to answer some fucking questions.
Admit
I love that.
Admit you were wrong. You guys were wrong, right?
Specify where I said any of that. Specify. Be specific.
Sam, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
Specify it.
Nobody cares.
Don't come up. Don't come up here and accuse. No. Don't come up here and accuse me of something.
You have no integrity.
No.
Piece of shit.
Don't come up here and fucking ask me to apologize for something that I didn't.
Your little butt buddy here lied about and said that I had CP. You were there cheering him on in his chat, and now you don't want to take responsibility for it. You're not a man. You're a fucking little girl. You're a fucking little loser.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. Okay, Bill, you were wrong, right? You admit you were wrong.
Yeah, I admit that I listened to somebody that turned out to change their story. I will admit that.
Whatever the excuse is, you were wrong.
No, there's no excuse.
You were wrong, and you just admitted it. So you went out there and told people definitively. You didn't say, I think, or I heard it from this guy, or I'm speculating. You said it like it was you put it out there like it was 100%
I did say I heard it from this guy.
You put it out there like
that's why I asked you to put your live stream back up.
You stated it as it was a fact, as if it was a fact. It turns out it wasn't, so you owe an apology, right?
No, I'm not going to apologize to you. You sent a 14-year-old boy to my channel to try to make me look bad.
You admitted you falsely accused me of CP, and you're not going to apologize?
Like when you tried to set me up with a 14-year-old guy.
Are you kidding me? How could
no? Answer my question.
You're not sorry.
And then you tried to say I hired. You tried to say I hired a child actor.
You're not sorry.
You've run around here, and by implication, have tried to put us all in the ed basket.
So you admit
we're not all in the ed basket.
You're not sorry, and you don't have remorse. That means
no, you can apologize. Why don't you apologize to Angela G?
What assurance do the people have that you won't do this again?
What assurance do we have that you won't fucking drag somebody that wasn't convicted of any of the conduct like you did to Angela G, and still to this day, your pathetic loser.
Angela G, that's the problem.
Your bullshit that you pulled against.
Like,
Yeah, you don't. I know you fucking don't.
About right now is how dishonest and shitty, like
you're the most dishonest actor out
how
there.
You have no dignity.
You're the fucking most dishonest actor out
and
there.
And you'll go around lying about CP. So why would anyone take anything you have to say seriously? Why would anyone care about anything you have to say? You're scumbags.
You literally are the most dishonest person out
there. Enough. If you don't like a guy, you'll just make up the worst allegations possible, and then you won't apologize for it. You're pieces of shit.
Jesse.
Oh, do you mean like sending a 14-year-old kid to my channel, Mitch?
Jesse called
you. You mean like that?
Bill, be honest.
You flat out tried to set me up.
Bill, why don't you be honest about
you flat out tried to set me up, Mitch.
Bill, when was the last time you thought about killing yourself?
I don't know, probably. No, I'm trying to remember.
Is that funny to you, Mitch? Is that funny? So we're supposed to feel sorry for you while you're mocking a guy for something
Karen.
in a police report?
You little Karen.
Oh, I'm the Karen now. You're up here screaming and yelling. You just got a little bit of taste of your own medicine, Mitch, and you don't like it.
Sam, you're drunk. Let him answer the question.
You don't. No. You're the one that got super drunk on sake, you pussy, and fucking couldn't run your Christmas stream like you did last year that was pretty good. And your pathetic loser Christmas stream this year was basically dragging Angela G the entire time.
Shit, at least I didn't go lie and push false CP allegations. Like
it's not our fault.
Sam, how did it feel
listen,
when you
Mitch,
were in that Jesse Davis stream and the thing blew up in your face?
It's not
Bill
our
Powell's
fault.
Gun should blow up in his face.
It's not our
You're
fault.
Still creeping. You're still creeping on a minor, Mitch, even if she's an adult now.
It's not our fault that you're a
You're still creeping with a minor's picture.
Bill, you are a low life. You lie about child. You lie about child abuse. You're a low life. You offer no value to the world. You might as well just fucking end your misery.
Oh, and I'm supposed to feel sorry for you, Mitch.
If I do,
you want me to cry for you now?
If I do, Mitch, if I do, I won't go alone. I'll tell you that.
Is that a threat, Mitch? Is that a threat now, Mitch? Are you going to go cry about that for the next 6 months? And he's gone.
Is he gone? Oh, hold on. Yeah, he's gone.
This loser, like many people on the internet, want to come and tell people to kill themselves, and then they want us to cry about them being called a creep by someone they've known for years. It's not our fault that Jesse called you a creep, Mitch. The dude's known you for years, and he thinks you're creepy. I'm sorry, Mitch. I'm sorry that some dude that you've known for years thinks you're creepy, and that you were creeping around his daughter's website or whatever. Sorry, dude. But I'm not really. You got to taste your own medicine. You don't like it. How does it feel? How does it feel?
He ran away.
See, this is it. He doesn't answer any questions either. Do you have boys in your Discord? Don't answer, deflect. Why does Jesse Davis call you a creep? He won't answer, he'll deflect. And yet again, people get blamed for the things that other people accuse them of. You know, if you didn't have the facts correct about what Sewer Town was saying, Bill, it is not your fault. And
well, here's the deal. It's just like with the what's her name situation, the Kevin situation. There was other stuff that I'd been told about also that nobody, for reasons like this, they don't want to come up and talk about it. So I've got that shit in my head too, and I can't even talk about it because people say, "Oh, I just want people to know." So you don't really know. I mean, they can show you to a point some things, but
yeah,
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Ask for a picture of the minor?
Mitch is just upset and emotional because sometimes, rarely, but sometimes he gets his own medicine right down his throat. And he's upset about that. And it's okay to be upset about that. It's okay to get emotional about it, you know, and you know, get a little bit of taste of the things that he's out doing all the time, smearing people on the internet. He's been doing this, by the way, for not just the last year.
Oh, I know.
He's been doing it for decades. What is he, 50? He's been doing it for decades.
I know. There are people that have been watching him for a very long time.
Yeah, and my phone is running low on battery. It's typical for him to come up here, shout, scream, super emotional with his meltdowns, and then run like a pussy.
Like a woman, yeah.
Like, hey, dude, it was a simple answer that you could have provided. Do you have children in your Discord? No, Sam, I don't. And if there were children there, they weren't supposed to be there, and we got them out when we found out they were. That's it. Simple. If you do, hey, yeah, we have children in the Discord. It's appropriate conversation. It's not like Mr. Beast #2 that was sexualizing kids in their Discord. It's topical about politics or whatever. The Proud Boy Mitch Army, the Mitch youth, and yeah, their kids there. What do you have to say about it? And then let the chips fall where they may. But he didn't do any of that. He answered nothing about it, and that's what made it. I still
don't think an adult has any business having a bunch of kids in their server.
I don't. I mean, you would wonder why. What topics could look? I mean, I was talking politics when I was a kid, and I would be like, hey, if someone said, sorry, you are a child and I am an adult and I cannot talk to you about the bankruptcy of the pensions program, that we're trillions of dollars in debt for pensions that we don't have the money to pay for. I can't talk to you about that because you're a child. But at the same time, as a general thing, particularly for this community, yeah, I think we've all grown not wanting to have kids anywhere because we talk about such, adult things that are not appropriate for kids, right? But at the same time, he never answered, like, where did the allocation come from? He claims that it came from Dowd. Why did it come from there? Why would someone say that? He didn't open his books at all. He didn't answer any questions. He didn't open his books. And then he wants to come up here and act like a scumbag and a jerk because he got a taste of his own medicine. And boy, is it sweet, sweet, Mitch, right? Just like a good liberal, you come up here accusing people of the conduct that you do, right? So get back in your limousine, Mitch, and complain about the carbon emissions, okay? And complain about immigration and illegal immigration while you have your H-1B visa slaves coming over washing dishes at your resort. Shut your fucking mouth and sit down and listen to the smartest people in the room. That's what you need to do, Mitch. And your little pussy brigades of hoaxers, don't scare me, don't threaten me. Just run it through. You've run my character and reputation through the mud like you've done to literally dozens of other people that you want to come up and you think it's a game for you, your little internet trolling. And then occasionally it gets turned on its head and you can't take it. Bitchy Mitchy can't take it. And I think it's absolutely fucking hilarious. Bill, on a positive note, Happy New Year. My phone's dying. I wish you well.
All right.
And I'm going to sleep well tonight after that one. Take care.
All right. Well, happy fucking New Year.
You know what? I don't even need to keep this up because I don't even need to have porn tonight, Bill. Keep this stream up, please. Okay?
Right. Yeah. Watch that butt juice. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh God, Danielle, are you fucking with me? Asking me to. Oh man, it's insane. And by the way, the last stream is done. I can't. Like, there's no link to send. YouTube took it down. What's going on, Section 15? Anybody else I missed? It's hard to get a word in, and yeah. Are you trying to come up, Shauna? It should work. If it doesn't, I'll make one specially for you. Well, Mitch has been banned for being a creepy fuck for a long time, so like most of these alts in here are Mitch. He can't get enough real support, so he's gotta invent people. Oh, okay. I misread you there, Jonah. I would like to have you up here though, one day. But the link should be good if anybody else wants to come up. If not, I don't know what else to. I don't know what else to talk about. I was kind of looking for an excuse to go live like earlier in the night, but decided against it. And then I got somebody left a comment that said that panel channel said that I was laying low because I was scared, which neither were true. And of course, she won't come up here. But here the fuck I am. Yeah, you're right, PatCon. You guys have been coping a lot tonight. I think PatCon was born angry, confused about his sexuality. That'll do it. Mitch needs to lay off the meth. He likes to talk about my drug use, which I don't hide, but he's drunk. Overly drunk most of the time. So he's really got no argument there either. I really don't understand why. I mean, Edward, rightfully so, was booted from the community, which if I had known, I would have put that shit out myself. But I don't understand why people like Clown, and there's been a bunch of things that are sus about Mitch also, but that gets tolerated. I want them all gone. I've never, once I found out the truth, I've not once defended Edward and never would. But all these motherfuckers, Mitch, they were up on his panels way more than I was. But we were his buddies, you know. They weren't. Yeah, hate. I used to be a pretty hateful person at times, but I taught myself to not be that. It takes a lot of energy to hate, at least the way I do it. You know, like driving 4 states away and kicking open somebody's front door. You'd think a person would be cooled off after driving that far, but no. So I decided that that was not a good way to be. All right, cover your eyes, ladies. I don't know if this is the real one or not. I don't know. It really might not be the right one. Hold on.
Yeah, no, it is me.
Oh, no, it's him. Okay.
So,
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So, hey, I came on. I just got notified that you were live, and I came on because Mitch was, dogging you the other night, and he was like, "Oh, they're claiming I have this, nude photos or whatever," he was saying, and so I want to clear the air. No one said that Mitch has nude photos of my daughter. I don't know that there's any nude photos of my daughter anywhere out there at all, ever. So, what happened with this, and Mitch is trying to explain it away as he does everything. We were on a live stream of Mitch's, and it was Mitch, myself, Telly, and I don't remember. There might have been a fourth on his panel at the time. And Mitch was trying to drag me, and as usual, that's what he does with everybody. And we got into a conversation about dirty cops that perjure themselves and, shit like that. Well, Telly said, "Oh man, I don't believe that." And I brought up a situation where my daughter had been assaulted. She was a 16-year-old. She was assaulted by a 21-year-old. And I talked about it, and I said, "Look, when we walked into the court, a police officer was there in uniform who had came to the disturbance, and I have video of this officer asking my daughter if she wanted him to, have her checked out. He saw a red marker on her face, blah, blah, blah." And I said, the officer went into the court under oath in his uniform and swore that no altercation happened. And I said, we showed the officer video of the altercation. My daughter turned her phone on when the people were beating on the door, and she had it on video. So when the girl came in and shoved her and pushed her, the phone was facing towards my daughter's breast. And Mitch immediately, because they were going, "Oh, this didn't happen." So I brought up the court papers. I also showed a short clip of the video of the assault. And the only thing Mitch could do is say, "Oh my God, look at your daughter's boobs. They're hanging out. What the hell?" How could you let her wear a shirt like that? I'm like, dude, she was a 16-year-old wearing a typical shirt a 16-year-old wears. Well, since that evening, they have done nothing but talk mad shit about my daughter. And, "Oh, we want to see her tits. Oh, she should bend over and show us her asshole," and all kinds of stupid shit. So for Mitch to claim, "Oh, well, no, we didn't have any pictures or anything," another person who's a friend of Thomas Schoenberger named Chris McGimsey Jones, he's from like across the pond or something. That dude went on to my daughter's social media and grabbed a whole bunch of images of my daughter off of her Twitter page or whatever. And many of those photos that they've shared around amongst themselves are when she, in fact, was a teenager. And they have just, they've done kind of to her what they do to Angela G. They just keep talking mad shit. And so when I called him out the other night on New Year's Eve, they immediately did a live stream, and he took it down as usual. But all they were doing was talking mad shit again about my daughter's breasts, and how they want to check her breasts out. "Oh, we need to see these pictures," and yada. I mean, it was sickening. And so it is what it is. Did he have nude pornography of my daughter? No. And there wasn't any no goofy lingerie. Not. It was a girl in her clothes that she wore every day. So in their last stream, they were talking about uh, another video that was put out of my daughter practicing jujitsu. And now one of them's like, "Oh man, that form-fitting outfit and all that." And they're like, "Oh, well, she was an adult then because she's 25 now." But the photos and the shit they're talking about is when she was a teenager, 16 years old, 17 years old. And it's just crazy because they're a bunch of sick, perverted fucks, And so.
Can't really say too much about, I mean, yeah, it's sick, but you can't really say too much about adult pictures, but passing around and sexualizing
90% of the photos and shit that they've passed around and the video that Mitch is constantly referring to, she was a 16-year-old child or younger. And that's why I told him he's a sick fuck. He's a pervert, And now that's all they do is, oh man, we want to see her titties, and she should bend over and spread her ass cheeks. And I mean, that's the shit they were saying the other night after my stream. And I'm like, what a bunch of perverted fucks, So, but it is what it is. So I just wanted to come up and kind of let you know what actually went down. And for Mitch to claim he don't know why this video was ever shown to them or anything. No, they insisted, show us the proof that this happened. Show us the proof she was assaulted. Show us this officer lied in court. That's why all of that got shown, and it was a very short clip of the actual assault, And so, yeah, they always are coming out at, oh, your kids shouldn't have their own social media pages, and you shouldn't share pictures of your family ever anywhere on social media, which is crazy because that's what social media originally was designed for. So people that lived across the country from each other or whatever could stay in touch with their families, man. It's sick fucks like them that go on and stalk your social media and then, drag your ass for stupid things. I mean, they made the internet bad, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree.
There. He was claiming that you did a stream and you said that he had nudes of my daughter and this and that. And I listened to your stream.
I did say that.
I skimmed through your stream a little bit, and I didn't actually hear you say that. I heard you talk about them, passing around photos and shit, and that has happened. I mean, they just did it. So I heard Mitch tell Jesse he shouldn't show that video of her online because she was underage and wearing tight clothes. That was after Mitch and them insisted on seeing the video to prove that the assault happened and the cop lied. So, after the fact, it's not like we're showing the video again. Mitch has the video. Mitch just decided to take down all those streams, as he always does. Like the stream the other night where he was talking shit about my daughter and she happened to walk in the door and she got really pissed and told him off. And then he did nothing but berate her and say she shouldn't say nothing to him, I mean, it's just stupid.
I was sent a couple of clips from that stream. I'm not sub to Mitch. I don't really watch him unless something else is being shown. But I was sent a couple of clips from that stream. But the thing is when somebody takes the stream down, the clips also disappear with it. Unless you screen record it yourself.
Yeah.
So when I went back to try to get them, they were already gone.
Well, so like the stream they did New Year's Eve or New Year's, because it was probably after midnight when they did it, and they were talking all this mad shit. I was able to grab that stream before he took it down, but he did take it down. But I have the entire stream. It's like 5 hours long, and I planned on talking about it and letting people listen to how disgusting they actually are. But yeah, whoever's in your chat there, technical perfection, tell Bill and the fine people about your teen modeling site. So 25 years ago, the story's been told many times on my channels that these same clowns keep getting my channels nuked because when I put evidence of anything out there, they don't like it. They nuke my channels. They've gotten 2 of them.
So yeah, they got mine tonight earlier. They're trying to do the same thing.
Yeah. So 25 years ago or so, my wife and I had a modeling website up. We had one website up that was teen modeling websites. And we had another modeling website up that was my wife's site that was called Mrs. Mom. And these guys found it. Some lady from another country actually found it.
So does that make you Mr. Mom?
And they started dragging us over these websites that we ran 20 some years ago. And I'm like, look, we did nothing nefarious, nothing wrong. There was no nudity on the teen site, obviously, whatsoever. And we were shooting portfolio images for local teens in our area that wanted to send their portfolio photos to modeling agencies. That's
Right.
all it was. But they've turned it into this big fucking ordeal, because my wife also had a website. And I'm like, look, we didn't do anything nefarious, nothing illegal, never. But yet they keep trying to drag it into something it wasn't.
Are you a professional photographer?
Man, I've been doing photography for weddings, senior photos, and shit for decades. I have all kinds of professional equipment. These idiots just don't care about any of that,
You filmed your wife doing wet and messy mud butt photo shoots, right?
My wife was an adult, and she had her own website. Why does it matter what the fuck I shot or my wife had on her website? My wife's website also had zero nudity. Zero.
But in those photos, your wife is sticking her butt in a salad bowl full of mud.
It's not full
of mud. So what? She's an adult.
We discussed it. She had a website up. She did modeling. She got people were sending clothes, shoes, companies, and asking us to photograph the models wearing their products. And sometimes we're just shooting the shoes on their feet, whatever. Normal shit, man. They made good money. Who gives two shits? Someone emailed her and said, hey, would you be interested in doing some wham, which is apparently a fetish thing, and it's called wet and messy. And
you admit it's a fetish.
And you cover yourself in food products.
Ew.
And none of them wanted nudity. 90% of the stuff, she was in formal gowns and things of that nature. And they just want you to get nasty in food products. So what?
Get nasty.
Yeah, what difference does it make to you, Mitch? Why would that be any of your concern or your business? Because you're an online troll and you're a piece of shit.
But
just like New Year's, when you and Top Feed Coco and little frog boy there, y'all were talking some gross shit again about my daughter. She should bend over and spread her ass cheeks, and y'all want to see her. Yeah, you think that's funny.
She's 25.
Dude, the photos you fuckers were talking about, the jujitsu shit, dude.
How old was she in jujitsu?
That was teen. That was under 18 years old. And Coco knew that, by the way.
I think you're lying.
We talked about it, dude.
You're the one that showed. No one even wanted to look at your daughter. All I've ever expressed is disinterest in your daughter.
You weren't even, you weren't even around when me and Coco talked about it most of the time.
Then why are you bringing it up to me?
The jujitsu and stuff. Why would you worry about if I'm talking to somebody about jujitsu, which I was with Coco, and we were talking about my daughter, and I told him she trained with the jujitsu, the Gracie family. And I showed him a video of her in a tournament. And then there were videos on my social media of her practicing kicking in the damn street in front of my house.
Dominique, his daughter is 25 years old. You sick fucking fantasizing
you
weirdo making fantasies up. Sick.
You freaks,
Dominique, you're sick.
Now that you know
his daughter's 25 years old, dumbass.
Dude, now that you know she's 25, you're coping, Mitch.
She is now, but her pictures weren't even showing around.
I've never said anything untoward about her since, about anything about her being.
Come on, dude.
Only since she's been 25. Jesse's a lying sack of shit.
You've already lied to everybody and
you're a liar, Jesse.
You lied, Mitch.
Mitch. Wait, go back to what we were talking about real quick.
Shut the fuck up.
Your wife lied. You were selling your wife's used pantyhose on that website, right?
My wife don't matter. She was a grown-ass woman, Mitch. But we're talking about your sick perversion with my daughter and your friend's sick perversion.
Your daughter's 25, dumbass.
Dude.
Nobody invited, nobody asked to look at your daughter. You
and Telly. You and Telly, in fact, did. We were discussing.
Nobody wanted to look at it. And
we were discussing on your stream.
Yeah, you showed
about
me a picture,
an assault.
You showed me a picture of your daughter. You showed me a video of your daughter's cleavage, and I said, "What?" I said, "Stop showing me."
No, I showed you a video of.
I said, "Cover
Mitch,
up your daughter."
Shut up and let me finish. Mitch, shut up.
No.
You and Telly insisted that
I was. Told the story.
Where's the stream, Mitch? Where's the stream?
I haven't heard it, Mitch. Shut the fuck up for a minute.
Where's the stream?
I don't know about any of this shit.
You just said it, dumbass.
You took the stream down.
About is Jesse? You called Bill a complete fucking idiot and a liar. And Bill, you said that Jesse changed his story. So what about that, Bill? How did Jesse change his story? How did Jesse change his story?
Mitch, where's the stream where you and Telly were trying to drag me,
Bill,
and you insisted...
Bill,
hey, mute him for a minute, will you, Bill?
Jesse's right here.
Yeah, one at a time.
Bill, you said Jesse changed his story. How did he change his story?
All right. So go ahead, Jesse, and then I'll let Mitch talk.
Mitch does not want to admit that there was a stream. I was on his panel, and we talked about this bad cop, and we talked about the assault on my daughter, and him and Telly both insisted.
You already said all this.
Both insisted that I lied, and insisted that I showed them
the story already.
I showed them the receipts. The receipts was the video of the assault. Just because her camera was flying around because she was being assaulted and it pointed towards her boobies does not mean you had to get all jiggy and talk shit about her boobs for the last several months. You sick piece of garbage. She was 16 years old at that video.
Liar. Why don't you?
No, it's not. Bring the video up, Mitch.
You can just tell the truth about, dude. That there's nothing.
Bring your stream up, Mitch. Where's the stream?
Criticize about me that it's actually.
Yeah, I would like to see the stream.
Where's the stream, Mitch?
I don't even know what you're talking about. So
you don't know what I'm talking about.
You can't ask me to prove something you're lying about.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. That's why you take all those streams down.
You're lying. But
really?
You guys are totally like trying to distract from the actual point of all this.
No, we're not. You're a sick piece of shit.
Let's get down to the actual what the topic is, and it's about Bill Powell coming out and saying that I had CP, possession of CP. And when I confronted Bill, he said, "Oh, I got wrong information because that Jesse guy changed his story."
Well, you speak about it as if it is CP, and on New Year's, all you did was talk about needing to see her boobies and her ass and everything else. You're a sick fuck, dude. You're a sick fuck.
You can get emotional and screech all you want. It doesn't change the facts of the matter, and that's that Bill said.
You know what the fact of the matter is, Mitch?
And then Bill
talk mad shit about my daughter. You talk mad shit about my daughter now because
you know I'm right. You know I'm right.
No, because my daughter called you out.
I'm right.
My daughter called you out on your stream. So now you think you can drag her? But Mitch, you know what? My 25-year-old daughter would probably rip your fucking head off and shit down your throat for what you've said about her, Mitch.
Nah,
you're a filthy fucking pig.
I'm pretty sure I could kick her ass.
Yeah, well, you should come knock at my door like you threatened to do, and we could find that out. Because if she ain't here to whip your ass, I'll whoop your ass, you bitch.
Nah, I doubt that.
You threatened to come to my house. When are you gonna make that trip, little boy?
Bill, how did Jesse change his story? You said he changed his story. How did he change it?
I don't know.
Man.
So he wants to
stream last night. I was getting messages. I got messages, and
Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, look at these two. Look at these two absolute messes of human beings.
Mitch, stop trying to
When are you going to answer for the fact that you sexualized a teenager? When are you going to answer for the fact that you have 14-year-old boys hanging out in your servers? When are you going to answer for the fact that you sent one of them to my channel and then tried to say I had hired a child actor?
Bill, you came out with a fake CP allegation. You know how serious
Mitch,
that is?
did you laugh the other night?
You lie about child abuse. You're a
Mitch,
fuck.
did you laugh the other night when
Jesse,
your
you lie
panel
about child
guests
abuse, and then
said
when
they
you
were
got confronted,
going
when you got
to
pressed,
sexually harass and abuse my daughter?
When you got pressed about lying about CP, you threw Jesse under the bus, and now Jesse's here, and you won't even confront him, pussy.
Mitch,
I
Like, why don't you
told
say
him
what
a
you said
little
earlier?
while
Why
ago
don't
that I
you
did
say what
say
you
that.
said earlier? You said that Jesse changed the story. Jesse, did you change your story?
I did say that. I told him.
Jesse.
I don't know exactly what story Phil heard, and I don't give two shits, Mitch. You are a piece of shit. You you drag women relentlessly. Are you gonna say that you didn't laugh when your panel guests were saying they're gonna be out to sexually harass my daughter now? Now you've drugged my daughter into your LARP.
This guy made a fake CP.
Did your people say that, Mitch?
When he got confronted about it, he said
you are a sick pervert, dude.
Jesse changed the story.
You have been gawking about my daughter because you saw an image of her from 16 years of age.
Jesse, did you change your story? Because Bill said you changed your story.
Answer some questions. You need to answer some questions, Mitch. You always deflect. You won't ever answer anything.
You guys haven't
You don't. You don't ever answer
topic
it.
We're talking about. You're trying to deflect and deflect.
I don't have to deflect. What you did is sick, and you're a sick piece of shit.
Well, where's the energy you had for Bill when you were calling him a complete fucking idiot?
I didn't have any major energy for him. What are you talking about? My stream's still up. I don't hide my streams, Mitch.
No, Jesse, here's the thing. You are right. He is a complete fucking idiot and a liar. You were right.
I just said if I simply said if he said
right.
I simply stated
right.
I
Phil,
simply stated
idiot and a liar. You admit that, right?
I simply stated that if Phil said that you had nude photos of my daughter, because you were the one in my stream going, oh, he said I got nude photos of your daughter. He said you were trying to coax me into attacking this guy, and I said, look, if that's what the guy's saying, he's wrong.
I wasn't the one.
There's no nude photos out there.
You weren't replying to me. You don't even have your story straight.
You were in my chat, dumbass.
I wasn't the one saying
it's out there.
It was other people. Like
it was your other fucking goons. You're right. It was your other goons, man.
It's my fault that
his other alts.
It's my
your
fault
other goons.
Complete fucking
Mitch, it was your goons, just like it was you dorks on Becky's stream. Wait till Barnyard Becky and the pigs stream comes up next, dude, and we hear all the nasty shit and see all the nasty shit y'all were saying in the chat.
Why would anyone believe
anything?
Why would anyone believe anything you two retards ever say again? You make up false child.
Dude, it's great. I'm going to show the stream. They'll hear it right from your mouth, and they'll see your nasty shit in the chat too, won't they, Mitch?
You lie about child abuse. You're the lowest of the low.
I didn't lie about child abuse in any way, shape, or form.
He failed. He does this all the time. When he starts losing, he bails.
He rage quits.
Yeah.
Dude, it is what it is.
It's the second time he's rage quit tonight.
Yeah, he's a sick fuck, man. Now, see, if it was a woman up here on panel, he'd stick around and try to argue all night. But he just can't deal with a man, you know. He's threatened to come to my house already. I told him to come knock, man. I mean, bring that shit on. I'll show him that a 60-year-old man will whoop his fucking nasty ass. The shit he has said about my wife and my daughter, man, even the shit they say about my wife, I'm like, dude, why does it matter to you? She was 30-some years old. And guess what? If she could make money by posting images of herself with no nudity at all, and she could make money, who the fuck cares? You know, why is it anybody else's business? They've been dragging that shit now it's going on 2 years. It's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. You know? And that's exactly what he does. Oh, Phil, why don't you confront Jesse? Oh, Jesse, confront Phil. No, I said what I said. I said, look, if Phil is saying there's nude photos of my daughter going around, that's not true. There's no nude photos of my daughter out there to go around. There were images where Mitch has sexualized them, and they were all images, the ones they were talking about, and the video when she was underage. And Mitch claims he don't know where this video's at, but it's one of his streams. All he's got to do is go
I've
look
been
for
trying to get him to put it back up, but he won't.
Oh, no, he won't. And they insisted. You know how they are. Oh, where's the receipts? Where's the receipts? And it was this Telly guy, whoever the fuck he is. I don't even know. Another guy from across the pond.
He's another jerk off. He's another jerk off.
And he kept saying, "Oh, bullshit, bullshit. We don't believe you." So I literally brought the court documents up showing what the cop's testimony was. And then they said, "Well, we don't think the assault ever happened." Well, the only way to prove the assault happened was to show the short clip of the assault taking place. And then as soon as they saw that, Mitch instantly started talking about my daughter's boobs. And oh my God, how could you allow her to wear a shirt, that's got a V cut in it? Yeah, I'm like, dude, she's a 16-year-old fucking teenager. All of teenagers wear clothes, like that. I'm like, why do you got to say about that,
I'm a father of a daughter too, and when my daughter was that age, her mom would let her wear things that I wouldn't. There's no fucking way.
Exactly.
Like I would have to stop sometimes at stores on the way home because no, that's just. And then when you see some fucking middle-aged asshole staring at him in Walmart, and I've been kicked out of a couple of Walmarts because of it. But
well, and hey, all of my children, I have 3 boys and a girl. Last night they were claiming I had 5 kids. I don't know where they found a 5th one at, but whatever.
Mitch also says that I'm 60 years old. I mean,
I have 3 boys and a girl, and the 3 boys are all older. The daughter's the youngest. And bottom line is, it was all of my kids will say that I was very strict with them. They weren't allowed to go to parties, even in high school. None of my children drove to high school, man. They got cars when they graduated, but they didn't drive to high school. And they were like, "Oh, you're so strict. We didn't get to go to any high school." Well, now they appreciate that because most of their high school friends are either dead or in prison or in deep trouble, and none of mine are, So I'm like, I don't know why they think, I was such a terrible dad because of a shirt my daughter might have been wearing,
But I was a little bit, Jesse, Sam here. I was a little disappointed, though. Your stream, heavily promoted, didn't really bring new evidence. I think many of us, Jesse, including myself, were there for the goods. The goods on Mitch. The evidence against Mitch that would indict him for the crimes. And I was in your chat, Jesse, and you were 4 or 17 hours in, and it was basically you were restreaming old streams from a beef of 5 years ago. And I was disappointed. I don't like Mitch, Jesse. So I was ready. I was guns a-blazing, but you kind of left me with no.
So I searched for the stream because I thought I had screen recorded when I was on his panel the night all of this originally went down, and they insisted on seeing this evidence. So I thought I had that, and I thought I had screen grabbed it, and Mitch had made some nasty comments, although a few of his little friends are going, "Oh, Mitch told him to cover her up," I mean, like, come on, dude, that was a video from when she was 16. How could I cover her up, at this point in time? But I thought I had the video and all the nasty shit they said that night, but I couldn't find it. And I realized Mitch took it down because he takes everything down. And,
so you're saying that the evidence of the crimes of Mitch, and I'm not necessarily you ever said he committed crimes particularly. I think your overall theory 7 years in your beef with Mitch is the fact that he's a creep, basically. Is that right?
Well, yeah, but the biggest problem is I have only known Mitch for like the last 2 years. Mitch came in and, just started trashing me because of Thomas Schoenberger.
Where is he?
And he's admitted that. Huh? I haven't known Mitch, but a year and a half, 2 years.
Uh-oh.
I've only known Mitch for maybe 2 years at the most. And the dude came out of nowhere and just came in and started talking mad shit. And then this Donna Emerald person, which I don't know if any of you even know her, she had
I don't know any of these people.
Yeah,
like I've heard the name Tommy Schellenberger before, but I don't know who these people are.
So she was angry at us. So she had dug up Pavana's website and the modeling websites on the Wayback Machine, and she started, throwing that shit out and talking mad shit like we were doing something wrong. And then it got passed to Schoenberger, and then to all these other people, and then this Chris McGimsey Jones guy decided that he was going to stalk my daughter's social media, and he started showing all these photos of her from when she was a teenager, and they were all talking mad shit, and that's how the daughter actually got brought into all this.
Well, I guess one of the criticisms would be they would not have had that material against you if your daughter had not been blasted everywhere on the internet. Is that one of their criticisms? That are they sort of trying to throw in your face the fact that your underage teenage daughter was on the internet, and really that's kind of their indictment on you, I guess.
Yeah, they don't think that any teenager or any child, for that matter, should have any social media access. And my daughter wasn't on social media at age 10 or 12 or 13 or nothing. They got on when they were, in high school, 16, 17 years old.
Right, and well, then that's like Mitch doesn't have kids, right? So it's likely that, and neither do I, in full disclosure, but I would imagine that someone, is someone cranking some sort of shaft? Who's cranking something?
It's not me.
Jesse,
are you cranking your shaft? But anyway, I don't know what that was.
I think you're hearing the dog on the wood floor in the background, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I guess what your overall theory is, I think I was, and people were saying I was excited to, it was wrong for me to be excited to hear about Mitch's crimes. And I was a little bit giddy to have evidence of his supposed crimes. But again, I think all we heard was your beef with him, that he's a creep. And I think for those of us that don't like Mitch, have long known him to be sort of a incel-y type hypocritical creep. So, right. I mean, you just provided us more evidence of that.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they all talked about, sexually harassing my daughter. And now, sexual harassment can be considered a crime depending on, how in depth they want to get with it. But they literally, the other night on his stream, after my stream, were talking about, oh yeah, we want to sexually harass her. And, they're laughing and joking and being giddy about it. That's what kind of creeps they are. And like I said, he wouldn't even be man enough to pull up here.
Well, I mean, I know that. I mean, let me guess. One of them was Top Coco.
Oh yeah, him and Ewan.
Yeah, he was.
Ewan. Oh yeah, Ewan, Will, and Mitch and Coco and Jedi was up there for a bit, and I think that Be More Busker guy was up there too. And they were just having a heyday for hours, talking about my daughter's tits and ass and how she should bend over and spread her cheeks and this and that. I mean, just sick shit, And it to me, like I said, Mitch is another coward, like most of them, and that's why when he threatened to roll up to my house to repo my Harley, I invited him to roll up to my house and let's see what he's made of.
In his limousine while complaining about carbon emissions. Right. Exactly like a good lib.
He better bring a few of his fucking agents with him too. That's all I can say.
Well, I mean, it gets to the same thing that Mitch operates, as many people on the internet do, this troll army. And you heard it from him tonight. Some people's goal on the internet, as sick as it is, and as twisted as it is, they want people to kill themselves. That's their goal. And if you were listening if you were listening earlier tonight, Jesse, you heard Mitch telling Bill to kill himself and bringing up some past, trauma, etc., trying to goad someone.
Was that in this stream?
As if it was on this stream, yeah. And so,
Mitch I just got here.
Yeah, Mitch wants to complain about him being a creep and that you think he's a creep, and him and his creepo friends are creeps, while blasting someone and telling them to kill themselves. And then he wants us to cry and think that we should feel sorry for him and apologize. Well, I'll tell you what, Mitch, I ain't going to apologize, because I run a show, episode 3 coming out, called No Apologies. And you can stuff it up your ass, Mitch, and you will get no apology from me.
I asked him the simple question on the stream the other night. Mitch, is the reason you're dragging my wife so relentlessly because you want to push her to another mental breakdown and get her to commit suicide? Because that's the whole reason I ever came on to this platform, is because Thomas Schoenberger had played a huge role in my wife's mental breakdown in 2017. And I've proven that. He also impersonated a fucking doctor. I showed medical documents where they referred to him as Dr. Schoenberger, which they claim are faked or whatever, which is ridiculous. I've showed hundreds of emails. And I said to Mitch, are you trying to finish what Thomas started? Are you trying to push my wife over the edge with all the shit you are pushing her away and dragging her about, And he won't answer. He wouldn't answer it.
Well, that's the other thing that I'm pushing out there. I've said this for months. Mitch wants to ask all the questions, and he will never answer one. And so I think that we need to go on a strike. All of us together need to go on a strike. Do not answer Mitch's questions at all, no matter the topic, no matter the stream, until he starts answering some of our questions, starting with the teen boys and the issues that have been rumored about his Discord that he simply tries to avoid. He just won't answer these questions. And it's sad, because it's probably a pretty simple, innocent maybe, explanation. But he's the one that could provide it.
Well,
that's all.
I don't know if you were around when I played a clip of him and another person talking, and they were talking about fucking with a teenager on their Discord or on their social media. And one of them, it was Mitch and another person. One of them said, "Oh, is that the same teenager or is that a different one?" So I asked Mitch on that same stream where I was playing this clip. I said, "So is it true that you've got teenagers on your social media platforms, more than one apparently, that you guys have fucked with?" is what it said. Now, fucked with, does that mean physically anything? No, it just means they were probably, doing the normal Mitch shit to them, dragging them and, talking mad shit. And Mitch wouldn't answer the question. But yet he was in the video.
Surprise, Jesse. Mitch wouldn't answer the question, right? I mean,
right
there.
Yeah,
kind of a consistent theme.
It was him in the video talking to this other person, talking about fucking with this teenager. And the other person, I believe, was the one that said, "Oh, is that the same teen or is it another one?" And it was like, Mitch, so there's no question you guys have, obviously messed with teenagers, And then he got all crazy and, "Oh, what are you accusing me of being a pedophile?" I said, "Look, dude, I didn't say you touched them sexually and physically. You fuck with people online every time you're online. That's what we're talking about here." And yes, he tries to push them, sometimes push people to harm themselves, I believe that.
And it's like you gotta just, I mean, Mitch gonna push me anything. He's gonna push me into the best night I've slept in a long time. Just hearing him squirm tonight, like a little pussy boy, a little fuck boy, was gonna put me to bed. He's gonna push me right into bed with my peach schnapps, and I'll be just fine. But for some of the more, sentimental among us, yes.
I
One
see
of
his
one of the
trolls
people
are in the chat.
trolls are trying to. You just need to realize. Some people need to realize that some people's goal is to people to get hurt themselves in real life.
Yes.
And you know what? It's kind of like when you start doxing people and you start harassing people. So what Mitch did in our community, Jesse, this offshoot of the predator catching community, is he got a couple of us that he wouldn't let. He get his fangs in, and he wouldn't let go. And he really just tried to imply that we were associated with child porn of some sort with this case regarding, Ed and his brother in Texas. And he just got a couple of us that he just wouldn't let go. And he really just tried to sick his troll army, his hoax army, on trying to hurt people, including myself, Bill, and others. And it just didn't work. And now Mitch is upset about it,
Well, that's
and
what this one in the chat, this LARPers R Us guy, he's been around for quite a while. And you notice he says, Jesse refuses to take responsibility for 40 years of my wife's mental issues. And it has to be some other random guy on the internet's fault. My wife had no mental issues. To this day, she's still not been diagnosed with a mental disorder other than PTSD and anxiety because these people fucked with her so bad on the internet. Yeah. To this day, she still does not have any mental diagnosis, but she still sees a therapist and a psychiatrist regularly because of what the fuck they did to her. And she wasn't
partly because of what Mitch did to her.
Well, yeah, Mitch and Thomas, which
so
is
there's
why
a woman in therapy because of Mitch and what he did.
Yeah. And now that
sick.
so get this, you guys might not have heard, but when Mitch first came at me, Mitch started ragging me because I took my wife to a facility to get her mental health help. He said I should have locked her in a bedroom. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? And it was, oh, you need to control your wife and this and that. And I'm like, dude, she was suicidal. So then my wife created a video that was comprised of some video clips of her behavior during her breakdown, which I shot, and I explained it a million times. I shot the videos to show to the facility because most people, when they're in that state, don't want to admit that they're as mentally unstable as they are. I mean, that's just a given. They don't want to be held. They don't want to be there against their will. So I shot some video clips. And my wife put a video together and talked about what happened to her and showed some of those clips. Well, we showed it on one of our streams. Mitch and them grabbed it, and boy, they just ran with it, fucking making fun of her breakdown, calling it a fake breakdown. I mean, sick shit. And it's been going on for 2 years. And everybody wonders why I can't stand Mitch. And Mitch wouldn't have never been spoken out of my mouth. My goal here was always to expose Thomas Schoenberger for his actual criminal behavior, his fraud, his deception of money from women, and what he did to my wife, so that hopefully other people won't buy into his stupid shit and get harmed like she did. That was my whole goal. Mitch just had to insert himself for Mr. Schoenberger, and he said that's why he was here. Because I kept talking about Schoenberger. Well, that's what I told Schoenberger I would do. I told him if he didn't admit to what he did to my wife and explain why he did it and apologize publicly, that I would be his worst nightmare online for the rest of his fucking life. And I wasn't joking when I said that. And that's why I talk about Schoenberger all the time, But now Mitch is involved in it because Mitch inserted himself into it. So, and Mitch is a sick fuck, and he appears to hate women because he drags them. And apparently he seems to be enthused with, my young teenage daughter's images. So that's where it stands.
Damn it.
Well,
I just said something really poetic and prophetic, and I was fucking muted the whole time. I don't think I can say it again.
well, it brought the trolls in, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Basically, and I'm not going to say it all again, but
Did you also have to disavow anybody for Mitch? I mean, that's his biggest thing lately is
I'm
everybody's
not
got a.
disavowing anybody for him. Even if I don't like that person, I'm not doing anything because Mitch wants it.
I don't have Instagram, Tiny Tim. I'm on Twitter, and I got a Facebook page. I don't do Instagram, never have. I wouldn't have had a YouTube page or a Twitter page, man. I didn't have any of those until my wife's issue happened, which was late 2017. And I set both of those accounts up to come on and find out, what was going on and who was involved. But yeah, I don't have Instagram, but my email's out there. Or you can look me up on Twitter.
No, I don't do Twitter. I feel like I have
I
enough
do
social
very
media
little.
bullshit. I don't need any more.
Yeah, I do very little on there, and like I said, I wasn't even a person on YouTube either until this shit happened, and I said I'm going to tell you a lot of YouTube and Twitter and shit. Man, it's a cesspool. It is a cesspool, and it's a
Yeah,
shame
it all
because it
is.
could be used for such good things, It
Well,
could be
here's the
used for
thing.
great things.
Most of the what's happened with the internet is you have the trolls like Mitch. They've never done anything real in the real world because they can't. So they have to create a persona. I
Yes.
would bet you money that Mitch has probably sat with a gun to his own head a bunch of times, and now he likes to project it onto other people. I would bet money on that.
So there have been people, actually, a video that I played at the beginning of that long stream on New Year's Eve, where he was talking to a person that goes by All Seeing You. She actually asked him or mentioned a time when Mitch was reaching out to her because he was in a really bad place. And other people have said that at some point Mitch was suicidal. Mitch has denied it. But other people have said that they
I know
spoke
that.
to him
Look,
then,
you are not the only one who's had years long, and you probably weren't here when I said it before, but not so much here lately. But at first, like at any time I would say something about Mitch, it's like somebody that I'd never heard of before would either leave a comment
Oh yeah.
or find my Instagram, and they're like they've got all kinds of shit to say, very similar to what you did.
Oh yeah, yeah. So what they
And
did
I
to
don't.
my daughter when they found my daughter's I think it was her Twitter page. They went in and they started reporting every image on her Twitter page, and they literally scrolled back like I think we figured they scrolled back like 2 years worth of photographs, and there were photos of my daughter's dog, just her dog in the photograph, or a Christmas tree or whatever. They literally tagged every photo, and I don't know, I guess they would call it reporting them. And so all of a sudden my daughter was like, well, Dad, all my images say that they may contain sexually, blah 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 or whatever. And I'm like, what? And come to find out, they had went on her Twitter page and just flagged all her photos. And so Twitter put this message on there, and she finally got it straightened out, but they denied that. And it's like, dude, you were looking at pictures of her when she was a fucking, from 13 to 16 years old, and they were tagging them all. And those are the images that they were sharing and floating around. I mean, this Chris the Gimpy Jones guy, he put that shit on 8kun and 4chan and all over. He's the guy that runs this Freedom Publishers Union page. And man, I'm gonna tell you, he said some nasty shit about a lot of people, and they probably don't even know it, unless you know that page.
I
But
never
our
heard of it.
LARPers Are Us in the chat here says, tell us about the hidden CP pictures you found on your teen photography competitor's camera. That story's been told 1 billion times, LARPs, and you're one of Hoax's trolls. But, you know, to sum it all up, I've been to 3 trials with pedophiles, and they've all went to prison. The one that had the CP on his camera, I already explained, we bought that camera for the fucking FBI. We handed it over to them. They're the ones who found the CP. It was on the internal, a tiny bit of internal memory on the camera or something, I guess, is where they found the images. But I never saw the images. We bought the camera and handed it directly to the feds. And then they arrested this dude at the airport when he was trying to flee, because he was already a convicted sex offender and he was on the registry and nobody knew
How
it.
did you know he had those kind of images on his camera?
So we did not have a teen modeling website. We had the Mrs. Mom site, which was my wife's website. My niece and a bunch of other local children, boys and girls in this community, were trying to, you know, get into the modeling agency. And at that time, it was a big thing to, you know, everybody had modeling portfolios on the web, you know, whether it was a photographer that had a website or if it was an individual person trying to get into the modeling. So this guy was from Southern Indiana, and he was coming up here taking photos of my niece and a couple other local people. Well, our niece had come to us and said, hey, look, this guy kept, you know, popping the door open where they were changing clothes, and he had his camera in his hand. So people started digging and found out that the guy had reversed his first name and his middle name, and he was actually a registered sex offender. So we reached out to law enforcement, FBI got involved in it, and he had advertised his camera for sale because he had bought a new camera. So I hit up one of the FBI agents and I said, hey, look, the guy knows us, you know, because we have a photography, you know, studio. And he's like, well, would you be willing to get the camera for us? So I bought the camera and we turned it over to them, and they found CP on it. The dude was going to flee the country, and they caught him at the airport in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they put his ass back in prison where he belongs. And then my brother-in-law, we found out he had touched a girl inappropriately, and we took him to trial in Michigan for that. He got 15 years. While he was in prison, I had temporary custody of his, she was his daughter. He raised her as, but he wasn't her, no blood. So anyway, I had temporary custody of her. While I had custody of her, she broke down and told me that this creep had been molesting her for 10 years, her own stepfather. Wow. So he was in prison serving time. I launched an investigation here. I spent 2 years dealing with Special Victims Unit and, you know, the prosecutors and all that. We finally got him to trial here. And the judge here, I believe it wasn't this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. 3 days before Christmas, he got sentenced to 47 straight years with no good time or no nothing. And so he won't be eligible to get out till he's 98 years old. And this is my wife's half brother, and I'm like, he's right where he fucking belongs. And Mitch and them have dragged me over that, by the way, guys. They've said, oh, are you sure he really did what he did? And oh man, you're a snitch. Why would you snitch? Yeah, because I put a pedophile in jail for the rest of his fucking life, and they just thought it was fun and games to drag me fast. So fuck Mitch. That's all I can say. They act like they're all worried about the children.
Survivors against permits. Hold on, I've been largely ignoring the chat, but I did see this comment. The FBI would have got the camera on there. The FBI will use any assets they can get. They like help from the public, and if they have one handed to them almost on a silver platter, they'll take it. Look, I've worked with the FBI. Those fuckers will, yeah. I never worked on them with any CP stuff, but when I was doing fugitive recovery, they
Sorry about that, man. I don't know. I might have hit a wrong.
That's all right. I'll just that's okay. It happens all the time. I'll just finish what I was saying, then I'll let you talk again. But the FBI and I were after the same fugitive, and they found out about it, and they hit me up. They're like, "Hey, we would like to get together and exchange information." All right, cool. So we get together, and they had a binder that was about 3 inches thick, and I handed them what I had, and they only gave me a binder that was like a quarter of an inch thick, and all they gave me back was information that I already had. They already had like they had a bunch more stuff. So yeah, they're not always on the level with how they deal with people, but they will take any help they can get when it comes to running somebody down.
Well, so like I said, they've nuked both of my YouTube channels that I had up because they didn't like the evidence I was putting up there. And on my YouTube channel, I literally showed a document, a receipt from the FBI, showing that I handed them, this camera. I also showed a receipt that I handed them, I think it was 15 gigs on a hard drive in another case, in a RICO case for corruption. So, these people that say the feds won't use you and all that, they're full of shit. And I could probably.
Yeah, they will. They've got informants and rats all over the place.
Dude, even your local police do it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A guy here locally robbed one of my competitors' sewer businesses, and he called me and wanted me to buy the equipment. And at the time, I knew it was stolen, and I knew where it came from. So I called the police, and a detective reached out, and they actually had me wear a wire, and they marked money. And the dude came to my home, and I made him stick around long enough. I said, look, I need to check this stuff out, make sure it works. So I made him bring it out of his vehicle onto the porch, plug the shit in, all that. And we exchanged the money. The police were sitting at the end of the block, and I live on a dead end. And when the dude drove away from my house, they busted him, and he went to prison. And like I said, they're all like, oh, man, you're this horrible person. You're a fucking... I'm like, look, dude, if he'd have robbed my business, I would have hoped somebody would have done the same for me. We were talking thousands of dollars worth of equipment. And as far as preds go, if I find out somebody's a fucking pedophile, you can bet your ass I'll do anything until the day I take my dying breath to make sure they get their ass put away. So, they can drag me and talk all the shit they want. Like I said, I put these documents all out there, man, just because these guys are idiots. They've called me a criminal for 7.5 years now. I went and pulled a criminal report that went all the way back to early 90s, that said I have no criminal history, no arrest record, no warrants, never have. And I shared that because these idiots keep talking shit, which I don't owe them any evidence of anything, but they're just idiots, so.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine being that miserable that you have to do the kinds of things that Mitch and company do.
Oh yeah, Mitch begs for my wife to get on a panel with him on stream, and I'm like, dude, are you crazy? Number one, I would not let her get on a panel with that idiot, and she would never, because of the horrible things that he has said about her. I'm like, why would you think she would ever? She knows exactly what you're going to do. You're going to try and Mitch her like you do everybody else when they come on your panel, So yeah, it's like, nah.
He's a one-trick pony, though. I mean, it's pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah.
How he operates. Yeah.
Well, and he always goes away thinking that he got a win. He calls it, oh, take the L, and I'm like, dude, Come on. Come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Same guy.
Yeah, I see his trolls are in here. It's hilarious, man. I'm just
Yeah,
and
they're always in here.
scrolling back through the chat. I'm like, that's hilarious, you know. Well, it's funny because if you watch any of the streams, I don't care, you know, whether it's Mitch himself or, you know, that Eon Will or who, it's always the same group of like 15 people or so in there. That's their
Yeah.
following, man. It's always the same. The stream I watched last night that we're going to talk about on my next stream, it was all of the hoax people, including hoax and Schoenberger, all up in the chat, and it was crazy.
Well, I
It was
mean,
crazy.
Hoax talks back and forth to himself on multiple accounts in the same chat at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
And again,
Well,
I don't know. Like, I've heard the name Schellenberger before. I don't know really anything about him. I don't know any of these people over there. You know.
well, he's a two-time convicted stalker, felon stalker. I mean, we saw the court records for it. He has frauded women on the internet out of over $500,000 that we saw in court records. It's crazy.
Wow.
And don't even ask me how the dude was able to do that, but he did. And it's like, holy shit. And he's the one that was, you know, fucking with my wife. I truly think they have like a suicide, you know, gang. And hell, I wouldn't doubt that they bet on whether or not they can push somebody over the edge, and maybe bet on when they'll do it and all that
There are
shit.
people that get their jollies off. I mean,
Yeah, that's what it
I,
seems
I
like to
guess
me.
I guess they're starting to crack down on it more now. I guess the laws are finally catching up to the technology.
Yeah,
And that kind of thing. I've seen a bunch of stories lately where people that do it, like, it's a thing, and
oh
they
yeah.
compete against each other.
Well, and
So,
I
I
guess
got this one to kill themselves and blah blah blah.
people always go, well, why don't you take him to court? Why don't you do that? So I tried to include Schoenberger in a lawsuit with the facility that, you know, violated HIP laws and all that when they talked to him on the phone about my wife when she was there. And they had this huge team of lawyers from Indianapolis, and they were, you know, putting a lot of pressure on my wife. And at the time, she wasn't in a good mental place. So I dismissed the case because there was no way she was going to be able to go into court and, you know, be grilled on the stand and all. So for her mental health, I ended up dropping the case, and I showed those documents. You know, I did file a lawsuit, but in the Schoenberger case, dude, the guy's a bum. He's had a woman out there begging for money for his hotel rooms and cigarettes and shit on the internet, and I'm like, so what are they going to do? He's an old guy. He's 60 some years old. He's not in good health. You know, he doesn't have a pot to piss in. Are they going to throw him in jail? No, because the internet laws haven't caught up to any of this shit yet, you know? And
Yeah.
so I found out that Texas is running a pilot program on a new device that they can put in your home or your apartment or whatever. And it's like kind of like being on house arrest, but it notifies them if you access the internet. And they are
Oh
actually
yeah, that's
using it
already a thing. Yeah.
to legally ban people now from being on the internet. And man, if they do that, I will try to sue that dude and get him off the internet, because that's the best thing that could ever happen to the web. So yeah. Yeah. So Phil, are you part of a catcher network or just a catcher channel or community? Because you know,
The whole thing, like, it's nothing like it was a few years ago. It's really taken a nosedive in the last year or so. But yeah, I was involved with almost all of the OG catchers to one extent or another.
because I
But
played a video clip in one of my streams of Mitch's friend Jilly.
Oh
Talking.
God, she's a psycho.
She was talking, and she clearly stated that, it was so great because Mitch infiltrated the pred catcher community, and he infiltrated it to sow discord and blah blah blah, and he's done such a great job, and I'm like, why would you want to go into a community that's, if it is actually, trying to catch preds and do good, why would you want to go in there and try to fuck that up and fuck people?
Exactly, and that's exactly what he's doing. But the thing is we've caught a whole lot of. In fact, one of the best known people, Edward Stairs, we found out that he had fucking CP the whole time.
Right.
And he's not the first one that's been outed. And we know that there's more out there.
Oh yeah, Mitch and all of them tried to tie me, and they're still trying to tie me in with Ed Stairs. I never knew the guy until I heard people talking about it. And Ed Stairs,
Mitch was on more of Edward's panels than I was, and once I found out about Edward, once I knew it was true, I was like, because I was friends with him. We had a falling out before all this stuff came out, but at one time we were e-friends.
Right. Well, so that's what Mitch and them dragged me with. Well, how could you allow your daughter and these other people to go with this pedophile across state lines? Because the brother-in-law, who was the pedophile, we didn't know he was a pedophile. He was my children's uncle. He came down here to pick his 4 children up on Halloween, and they came to our house and they wanted to take my daughter, and one of my daughter's friends was here, and one of my nieces, and nobody knew he was a pedophile. So they all went up in his van to go trick-or-treating in Michigan, which is where his wife and his other stepdaughter were at. And I got a call the next morning from the police department up there in Michigan telling me that, something went down. And I'm like, what? So I actually rented a big van, and I had to drive up there and pick all these children up. And I took them to the police station, and CPS interviewed them, and the police interviewed them. And then I brought them all back to their respective homes in Indiana. And that was the first case. That was the first time we found out. So they have drugged me and drugged. How could you allow your daughter? You let your daughter go. And I'm like, dude, it was her uncle, man. There was no signs. And they all said, well, you should have known he was. How are you going to know until the dude gets caught? I'm like, you guys are just stupid. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's the thing. It's, probably most of the time there is some kind of red flag or something, but sometimes things don't make sense, don't show up as a red flag until you're looking back. It's like, oh shit, why? And then you get mad at yourself because you didn't catch it then.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had no inkling of any kind. And after he got arrested on this case up there in Michigan, I did some digging, and I found out that in another city close to me, apparently he actually had slept with a 13-year-old at a hotel, and he apparently told the police that the girl said she had just turned 18 or some shit, and that it was her birthday, blah, blah. And I had never heard about it. And it was like, I guess, several years prior. And I'm like, so obviously, the dude must have had issues for a while, but nobody knew it. There literally was nothing. And I beat myself up like, what the hell could I have done? Why didn't I know this, And I questioned, obviously, my daughter, who was a child at the time, I'm like, look, are you sure that he's never, done anything inappropriate, touched you where he shouldn't, and she insisted that's never happened. And, but yeah, you beat yourself up wondering why you didn't know, so.
Yeah. That's my daughter got mad. Well, not really mad, but she got kind of surprised, I guess, because she doesn't date a whole lot of guys, but she recently started seeing this new guy, and I'm like, what's his name? What's his birthday? And I searched him up, didn't find anything noteworthy, but like, you got to use everything you can if they're going to be around your family, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, no doubt about it. And like I said, God, I wished I'd have heard about the first incident, you know. And but you know,
Oh, hey,
it
Nick.
happened how it happened, you know. What's up, Nick? So it is all Dowd and Ed's friends making false CP allegations. What's wrong with this picture? Yeah, I know. Everybody's tried to tie me to Ed Stairs, and Ed came on my panel one time after all the shit had started. And he actually came on my panel specifically to state very clearly that we've never had conversations. We didn't know each other, and he had never been on my show. Now, if he was in my chat under an assumed name, I don't know, you know, if he was or he wasn't. But as far as I know, I never had a conversation with Ed Stairs until he came to say that we didn't know each other.
Well, Mitch is saying that I'm working with, I think he said at one point that I was working with you. And my last stream, I was like, well, not the last one, not the one from tonight, but the last one. I'm like, I've never talked to this guy. I know who he is, but we've never had a conversation. Oh, bullshit!
Yeah.
You're working with him, and you're working with Dowd, and I would not work with Dowd.
Well, yeah, he was saying the other night you were working with Dowd, and I was like, who
No.
is? I said, who is he? I don't even know who he is. And to be honest, the only reason I was able to pop into here tonight because one of my friends from the internet sent me a message saying, "Hey, you know, you should go over there." And they sent me a link, so that's how I found you tonight because I still hadn't found your channel yet. They were. Are
Right
you the
on.
one they're calling Bill?
Yeah, that's one of my names.
Okay, yeah. So, well, hopefully I didn't, you know, dox you there or nothing. But that's what
No, you're
in
fine.
my
No,
chat.
everybody here knows my real name. They know my ball gag size. They know what color they know. Yeah, there's no secrecy about my identity. There never has been.
Look. So these are all Mitch little trolls. How was Jesse to know he housed a family member who was a long-term PDF? We went through that too. We showed court documents. The guy was court ordered to live with his sister when he got out of prison for arson, which I had also had him arrested for that and thrown in prison for an arson many, many years ago. And when he got out, he got an early release. And part of his early release, I showed the court document itself online, was that he had to reside with his sister. And he lived with us for 30 to 60 days till he ran across a woman, and then he moved and got his own address. I showed the court papers where he told the court he had a new address. The dude didn't live with me for any extended amount of time, and he was never in business with me like Thomas Schoenberger keeps spreading around and the rest of you guys. I was never in business with the guy. So, you know, either get your facts right or just shut up, man. After 7 years and all the evidence I put out there, most of it's probably on the Wayback Machine. I'm sure everybody was, you know, clicking on that button, saving my content up there. I'm sure they were. So just go hunt for my old streams and take a look. You can see all of it. But you put teen model clients in a van with him and say they weren't teen model clients, you moron. Has nothing to do with that. The modeling thing was shut down 20 some years ago. We quit doing that. We proved that too. Jesus. They're just relentless. No, I don't let you trigger me.
Yeah.
I don't let you trigger me. I may get loud, but I don't let you trigger me at all. So I'm on Rumble. I don't have YouTube anymore, Tiny Tim, because they nuked my channel back in November again. So there's a Rumble channel called Sewer Town. And you can normally jump on a stream if you want to get on a panel because I run it through StreamYard. So if you go to Rumble and look for Sewer Town, you'll be able to find us.
Oh no, the last time I promoted your link, it bit me right in the ass.
Yeah, you're right, Sam. You're right, Sam, because half these trolls are probably Mitch under a different name anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So I can't get in the chat because it tells me I have to sign in with YouTube. And I haven't figured out how to do the little dance around that because everything's linked to my one email account. So I can't even click a like button on YouTube videos or nothing, you know, because I can't log into my Gmail.
I'm the most technically improficient.
You and me both.
Person out here, so I don't know how to tell you. But I tell you what, I've had a lot of people tell me that they, like when they try to like a video, like it won't show up. They can't comment, or they can only. Here's something else that's weird. They can't comment on any videos, but they can comment on posts, which I think is weird. But
it's really weird because they nuked my channel, and the dude had done a copyright strike. This Chris the Gimpy Jones guy, and YouTube actually 3 or 4 times told him, "Look, we don't think your copyright strike is legit, and we're going to leave his content up." And then all of a sudden, he put 3 strikes against me the same night, and YouTube. I got up in the morning and I had an email saying they took my channel off. And so I sent him an email back, you know, and disputed it. And he has since then, you know, apparently resent the strikes numerous times. I bet I've gotten 15 emails from YouTube between November 17th when they took my page down. And
okay. I see you in private chat now. I can't click a link while I'm live because I'm on a phone and it just doesn't let you.
I was going to ask you if you could share it so that this Tiny Tim guy can get it, because I can't.
Let me try something.
So I don't know if StreamYard will allow you to right click it and copy it and paste it or not. But
it might kick me off, but I'll jump back on if that happens.
Yeah, I wished I was smart enough to figure out how to create all these accounts that these jokers have.
Well, I mean, it's not hard, but like me, all I have is, well, I guess I have another phone I could use if I wanted to, but I just, fuck it, I don't care. Usually when I say something, I want people to know who's saying it. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it's just not worth it. Post comment. All right, this might work, I don't know.
Well, according to Thomas, I'm going to get court papers soon, but he's been telling me that for 7.5 years. So.
All right, there. Hey, I think that actually worked. Holy shit.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Thank you very much. So Tiny Tim, that's the Sewer Town Rumble page, and that's where we'll stream from. But
Tiny Tim says he's known me for a long time, but I don't know. Having a hard time figuring out who that is.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I've had a lot of people tell me, "Oh yeah, man, we've talked before. You know, I've been in your chats and all that, and you know, they're under different names." So,
oh yeah.
Like I said, I don't recall seeing Tiny Tim, but
well, and then there's times too that like I've been talking to certain people in chats for years, and also talking to them privately for years, and not knowing that they were the same person. Like that's happened a few times. Like, right. You didn't know that was me, dumbass? I'm like, no, because I'm like, oh, I saw so-and-so in the chat and they said this. They were like, yeah, I said the exact same thing. And oh shit, yeah, it was you.
Well, I've been accused of impersonating other people. I was accused of impersonating oh shit, what's his name? He's in New York, I believe. Jason Goodman. And I'm like, dude, I can't even get myself back on YouTube, more or less create a fake channel impersonating somebody else, you know? I've never came in under different names, you know? So, yeah, I got
Tiny Tim said okay, if they know about the Angels, they've obviously been around for a while. And if they knew me before the Angels, that narrows it down. Too bad my memory is shit.
Sam said there's a video of Thomas getting served. Yeah, he did. That was in the Gabe Hoffman lawsuit. That was hilarious, man. His initial look on his face was of shock because he was evading the law for quite a long time. There were several people trying to serve him. Gabe Hoffman was. DeFanga was trying to serve him. Beth Bogarts was trying to serve him papers. And I still can't believe that he didn't know that one of his good friends actually gave him up to the process server. Yeah.
Oh, people are weak, man. People are weak.
Yeah.
What's going on, Frank? And he's gone. Oh, man. Well, I tell you what, y'all, I've been tired for like an hour.
Yeah, man, I didn't mean to come up here and go on and on. I just wanted to come up and, you know, see what Mitch was saying. And he wasn't even on here. I guess he had already left and rage quit. But somebody had messaged me and said he was over here. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll go check it out. And like I said, I also wanted to, you know, just kind of square things with you and say, hey, look, you know, I didn't intend for anybody to think that Mitch had nude photos of my daughter, because there's no nude photos out there for him to get. He was just being a sick perv over her teenage photos, you know, that's all. So, but now that he states that he wants to sexually harass her with his friends, that could cause him some issues. That could cause him some issues. It doesn't. These trolls are crazy. Best publicity for Mitch is me and Jesse. Mitch publicity my ass. He's no different than most of the others. He's got a little handful of troll buddies that hangs out with him. That's it. That's it. A handful of troll buddies. But anyway, Phil dropped. I don't know if he's just in the background,
no,
but
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna
I just fucked
dude,
up
and let you do your thing. And like I said, I just wanted to come up and kind of make sure that everything was said. And Mitch, you know, I figured he'd be trying to, you know, drag you or whatever, but fuck him, you know. So
well, that's a 24-hour job for him.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right, man. I appreciate you letting me up on your panel, and I appreciate talking to you. And I will, now that I've got your channel, I'll try to catch some of your content when I can.
I would use the word content very loosely. I put almost no effort into this.
Well, that's what I tell them too. I'm like, you know, some of these people that, you know, gotta put this whole show together, and some of them say, "Oh my God, you don't know how much work." I'm like, dude, I grab some clips that I want to play or whatever, I throw them in a folder, and I go live, you know, and we wing it from there. And all of this, you know, musical interludes that they do, and this and that. And I'm like, nah, it's not worth all that. I'm just on here to be a thorn in Schoenberger's ass, like I told him I would be, until he admits what he did and apologizes, or until he takes his last breath. That's all. That's it. That's the only reason I came here.
That's pretty much all my channel is about, is to piss people off.
Yeah, Mitch and them turned it into something else. Mitch and all these other trolls that have came at me over the last 7 years. Like, it's between me and Schoenberger, and you guys don't need to come in here and white knight for him. And yeah, but they do. It is what it is. So, but anyway, you have a great night, man, and I'm sure we'll both get drugged through the ringer in the next Mitch show. But the hell with him.
Here's the secret to surviving that is I don't watch it. I think I've been on Mitch's channel one time, and that's when he was reading off the Edward paperwork, and I didn't want to miss that. But I'm not subbed to him. I don't watch him. You know what I mean? It's real easy to ignore.
Well, so I wasn't subbed to him, but other people would notify me, and I
Oh
didn't.
yeah, yeah.
Most of the time, I didn't even follow most of these people, and but all the
Oh
people
yeah. I get that a lot too.
the people I would get notifications for, I don't even get those anymore. So I just have to go, check it out. So I miss a lot of the lives and see the shit afterwards. So, but yeah, I know, Sam. I wished I had something better to give you guys, but like I said, is it a crime for him to be a complete sick pervert and all of that? No. But if they continue to sexually harass my daughter, it doesn't matter that she's an adult. She could still go at them for sexual harassment at this point. I mean, women get their way in the courtroom quite frequently, and they specifically stated they were going to sexually harass her, and they drug her into this LARP. So
Well, the fact that he sexualized pictures of her when she was a teenager says a lot,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
really all
that's
I
what
need to
I'm
know.
saying. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, Bill, it was good talking to you, man. Good meeting you. I don't think I've ever spoke to you before. So,
No, no. You called me an idiot last night, but that's okay. I was being an idiot. So.
yeah, I think I did because they were pushing through the chat and shit. Go, oh man, Bill said this. Bill, I said, look, dude, if he said that, he's an idiot because none of that is true as far as nudes of her being out there. Or porn or whatever they were, however they were putting it. That's the only thing I think that sucks with Rumble, because YouTube, your chat would show back up. If somebody was watching your stream after the fact, and with Rumble it doesn't for some reason, and I haven't figured out how to get the chat on the screen where you can see it if you're watching the video after it was live. So, but
Well, last night I'd said right when I started the stream that because I knew yours was coming up, so I said, yeah, this is going on or whatever. And it was at 7 o'clock Eastern, right? And then, but when 7 o'clock came, I just spaced it off and I stayed live for like another hour. And I have a hard time with Rumble. Like sometimes I just can't log on, and I was having that issue last night. So I saw none of. I just wound up going to a New Year's party instead.
yeah, so I
Which
try to,
that
when I stream on Rumble, I try to stream through StreamYard. I've not really done the Rumble Studio thing yet. Um, a couple different people said, "Oh, it's pretty cool," yada yada. And I mean, like, yeah, but is it harder to get people on your panel and all that? And I talked about it last night because StreamYard upped their annual price now to like $400 or some shit.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I really want to pay for it, because when I was streaming last night, the StreamYard kept glitching. And I'm like, shit, if I'm gonna pay that kind of money, they better get their shit
Well,
together.
something I noticed was somebody paid for an entire year of StreamYard for me. I personally would not put that kind of money into it. That
Yeah,
is before they jacked up the prices, But something I notice is that when you have the paid version, it's a lot less glitchy. So I think that they do that on purpose so that you'll keep paying for it.
well, we do have the paid version, but they've jacked the
Oh,
price up
okay.
each year to renew it. But um,
Yeah.
I mean, these guys all talk like I'm some poor guy and I'm going to be homeless and all that, and I'm like, paying for something like StreamYard or nothing. Come on, man, that's lunch money, right? So it's like shit. Now they're wanting $400 a year, and I'm like, as glitchy as they've been, I don't know that I want to pay that. So I may look into something different, but
Right. Yeah, I noticed they changed things around quite a bit or added stuff or whatever, but
yeah. So, all right. Well, my doggies
all right,
are
man. Well,
dancing around behind me. They want me to let them out. So it was very nice meeting
all
you,
right.
man. Thank you for,
All right.
letting me spend some time on your panel. And
No, thanks for coming up here and straightening some shit out.
yeah, you have a good one. Kudos to everybody in your chat, even you little trolls, because you're just giving him view time, you dumbasses. So,
Yeah.
but they like to do that. But anyway,
Yeah,
you
they're
have a
good
great
for it.
night. Yeah, you have
All
a
right,
great
you
night.
too.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Later. Oh. Well, I think that's going to do it for me. I still just, whether there was CP or not, like all the weird shit he's done, from sending a minor, a 14-year-old to my channel, and then trying to say I hired a child actor, to sexualizing a teen girl's foot. We're supposed to be in a community of, um, you know, people that don't want anything to do with that, and it gets tolerated. So if you can hang with that, go ahead. But most of you that do aren't going to be hanging out here in the future. All right, y'all. Stay naked.